How do you feel when you listen to the word well-being? How does that make you feel when you think about the concept of taking care of yourself? I realize that nowadays it's more kind of a burden than a pleasure because we are overwhelmed with all the information that exists out there. All those different and wide range of ideas that we have access to in order to take care of ourselves. And we feel completely overwhelmed on what to choose, which is the good one, because everybody is telling you different things that they have been trying and that they are very good. Suddenly you try them, you don't feel that woohoo, or that woohoo just lasts for few moments or few months. What is the difference? Or how can we really choose what is good for ourselves? And this is when I came into this point of self awareness. Everything starts with self awareness. You are not going to experience any kind of change or any kind of benefit if you are choosing the things from an external perspective. Everything starts by going inside yourself and knowing what you really need, want, and feel. This is one of the most difficult things on earth because we are very used to choose according to what others said. And no one really taught us how to connect with ourselves and with our bodies, how to understand what is your own truth. And why? Because we have a lot of information inside ourselves. And we have also a lot of information going around ourselves. So it's very difficult to detach ourselves from everything that the rest of the world is showing that it's good and from all the information that we have as well in ourselves that is really keeping us from the clarity of knowing what you really want. Not what you have been told is good. Not maybe what you have been doing since a long time ago because someone told you, but from a place where it's your truth, from a place where in the person that you are now, it's aligned to. From that moment when your body is saying the truth, not what the mind is saying. I invite you throughout these videos to understand a little bit more different kind of concepts that I would like to share with you that we will be talking about, that I will be sharing some exercises or some information about it to help you activate more and more that connection with yourself in order to be able to choose what is good for you to study, to practice, to use to take care of yourself. And also understanding that taking care of yourself is not a task, is a choice. And it is something that will bring you the tools to navigate difficult situations. I would like to share with you that recently I went into the hospital for some surgery. It was completely unexpected situation for me, for my mind, for my body, and for my whole life. Normally, I am a very healthy person, and I am. And of course, thanks to that, everything was easier. So I came with a lot of information out of this experience. I enter into the emergency room with a lot of pain and without knowing what was really going on. Of course, you are stressed, of course, you are not feeling good and you have to wait. And I would like to talk about how that waiting time was in myself and was happening. I had two choices. I had the choice of stressing myself, putting myself in more pain, getting angry because I was not taken care by the doctors immediately, or I had the option to stay calm, to try to relax my whole body from the stress of the physical pain that my body was experiencing and from the mental stress or the rational stress that my mind was going through. Of course, when you are in this situation, you never know. And you start triggering thoughts about what if, what if, what if. And I was so very present with myself that I said, no, I don't have the strength to go there with my mind. I don't want to go there to put myself into a more stressful situation and to activate even more stress towards my body while my body was already struggling with whatever was happening into my body. So I said consciously, I just need to calm down. Of course, being in a hospital, it's not very pleasant. Of course, being in the emergency room, you can see lots of things passing by. So I created a bubble of light. I just closed my eyes. I plug in some music and I was just inhaling, exhaling, accepting the pain that I was feeling and trying to relax the rest of my body. I think that I spent almost 5 hours in that meditation or mindful state, just providing my body the space to be. I was really choosing my thoughts. And whenever something was triggered, I was like, calm down. You know nothing. In this moment, the only thing that you have is the reality that you are in the hospital, that you are in pain, but someone will take care of you. You are in a safe space physically. So calm down because they will come to get you. So I spent the whole day there in that bubble as well. And also wanting not to connect with the stories of other people. I didn't have the energy to use that energy to leak out of myself. I wanted all my energy to be just within my situation without forcing myself not to help, not to see, not to interpret, not to connect myself with the story of others. I was just there with me. Once I got some tests, they decided, without knowing the final diagnostic, that I needed to stay in the hospital. That, of course, at the beginning creates resistance. But trust me, when you are feeling really bad, you just want to stay there and you are not going to question anything. And I just sat in that moment. And while I was meditating during those 5 hours, I just said, okay, I remove any kind of resistance. I allow all the help to come towards me. I just ask the universe or whoever I need to ask for help to provide the correct medical care that my body needs. And I just stay there asking for that support to happen and opening as well myself to receive. So I was in a place of no resistance. When they said you need to stay in hospital, I said, okay. I just talked to my family and I just sent a message saying I need to stay We don't know what is going on, but I will be here. This was the first step of this experience. Just to let you know that whenever you bring your attention back towards yourself, then you find and you activate that clarity and that peace. How often during those challenging moments, we are just forcing ourselves not to feel bad or to control everything that is happening around. And when you truly need is that peace, that relaxation to allow things to come with ease. Of course, I was recalling for that. Of course, I was there using all my self awareness and using all the tools that I have been practicing and teaching all over the years to deal and navigate during that. Fortunately, after 6 days in the hospital and after gallbladder surgery, I'm here. I will share more information and more insights that I received during this moment because it was a very powerful experience for me to understand when things are under our control and when things are not. And the more you know yourself, the easier you will deal with this kind of situations. Very helpful for you to understand and to practice to create that self-awareness. Thank you so much. See you soon.